Hi everybody and welcome to this All Divisions Tips, Routes and Suggestions video for the Shredder Slopes tournament here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. Please do hit thumbs up on the video, it does help support the channel. Make sure you're subscribed as well, it is totally free to do so. As usual with these videos, going to show you the overviews of all 9 holes that we're going to be playing for the tournament. It's a full 9 of the Grunberg Slopes with the routes that you might want to consider taking on each hole. I will be putting the suggested elevations up, but bear in mind these are only general elevations and you will need to tweak according to the wind strength and direction and also according to what wind resistance ball you may be using. We will be looking at all 9 holes for all divisions. So good luck in the tournament and let's get started with hole number 1. So we have par 4 to begin with and a very good chance for an eagle here, and if you want to do well in the tournament you are going to need to dial this one in with a variety of winds on the second shot. Only usually one route for me here. You can play to the right if you want to, if you do have strong headwind, but more often than not I will go left route with the arrows that I've mentioned here on the overview. Playing it plus 10 on the drive, landing there where the red cross is, using as much topspin as possible and a couple of bars of right spin, and you want to go in between the fairway and the rough where the tip of the first arrow is, and get yourself near to the end of that fairway if you can. The idea is that you will end up in minimum distance of your short iron, which will give you a very good shot for the eagle. Second shot played minus 10% because it is uphill. The skill here is obviously going to be able to dial that in and get yourself in a good position on your drive regardless of the wind direction you're going to get. Obviously shorter drives you are going to have to estimate your club range, but with the second shot particularly important, look where your landing position is, find a reference point with the rings against the beginning of the fringe and apply spins as needed. You're probably going to need some backspin, but be careful because there are areas where you will get a glitchy ball guide here. So find a very consistent landing spot and you'll have a good chance at an eagle on hole number 1. Hole number 2 then, the first of the par 5s in the Grunberg Slopes. All of these par 5s are pretty lengthy. This one I feel does have the best chance at an albatross out of the 3 of them. Preferred route there is the black line, playing to the right with topspin, bit of right spin, get yourself as far down that fairway as you can, 10% extra on the drive, and then from there you're going to have sniper, usually with pro and expert, or you may get to long iron range in rookie, playing yourself with those clubs to the green. 30% is the general elevation for the second shot. You can bounce on the fairway, roll to the pin, or you can do a rough bump here from the right hand side. Elevation going to vary for the rough bump because you do have to aim slightly higher up, so you may not want to play that at 30%. The other option is that you do go white line on the left and then play to the green that way. I've done both routes. The greens are pretty true here on Grunberg Slopes, so they're not bumpy at all. You will have pretty good chance of dropping this one, and that is really all there is to say on hole number 2. So choice of either right or left. I would favour right hand side though. Hole number 3, the first of the par 3s. General elevation here, I play this one 20%, usually in all wind directions. Most commonly the black arrow there, bouncing before that bit of bunker that juts out, so on the right hand fork of the fairway, and then using topspin, getting the ball to the pin there. So 20% I would play there. The other option you've got here, which people do in left to right winds, is the left hand route, the left arrow, and obviously if you're playing with sniper here it's very useful for the ball guide, and you can kind of take the slope there and let the ball run from the left hand side of the green down towards the pin. That line is a very viable option as well. Worth noting, in right to left winds I would not be playing that line because you do have to adjust down into the bunker, and it's obviously going against the direction of the shot. There is also of course a rough bump here, played on the strip of rough towards the top of the bunker just on the right hand side. but again, you do need to be hitting that one perfect. There is an element of danger there with bad left or a bad great right. And then also to note, if you're going to be adjusting into the bunker, got to account for the change of elevation, and also if you're landing where the red cross is actually, you can be pulling down to the left, which may well raise up your landing position, so you may want to build that into your adjustment accordingly. But there you go, 20% general elevation for hole number 3. Hole number 4 then. The best line here for an eagle chance is definitely going to be the white line, bouncing where the blue cross is. You do need to have a good amount of topspin on your driver here though, to clear the sand and of course the snowy rough. You want to bounce over there and roll down towards that second bunker there, the middle one out of the 3. 0% on the drive, going to need a bit of right spin as well. But then from there, if you roll far enough, you are going to have a short iron shot to the green. Obviously, if you don't go as far, you've still got a very makeable long iron there. Plus 10% on the second shot. If you don't fancy that, obviously if you've got a strong headwind as well, then you might want a safer drive, which is to the right-hand side on that thinner strip of fairway. Again, 0%. As much topspin as you can. If you do have headwind, you want a bit of overpower as well to get the distance. And then that will leave a wood club to the green, also played 10% on hole number 4. Hole number 5 then. I like this par 3, offers a couple of different routes to play actually, which is a good thing I do like about the Grunberg Slopes in general. White line, usually for rookie tee, bouncing on the right hand pad with a long iron, and then bouncing over to the green. There is a slope on this green, goes from right to left, and also the top half of the green does slope back down to the pin. So bear that in mind as well when you're looking at your ball guide. You will need to allow for some of the slope on the green. 10% usually from front tee. Middle tee, you've obviously got, and also back tee, you've got a couple of options here. You can go white line in certain winds, bounce over. But also what's a good option if you have a good amount of backspin, like a maxed out sniper or indeed the Guardian, then most people will be playing this directly onto the area of the green where the red cross is marked. Backspin, bit of right spin. From middle tee, generally played plus 15 because the tee box is slightly higher up. There is a rough bump here, just kind of 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock to where that red cross is, that we did try in Expert a couple of tournaments ago. I had mixed success with that. I made it a couple of times, but also I caught a bit of a glitch roll, so it depends how brave you're feeling there. It is a makeable shot, but up to you how much risk you want to take. But a nice safe route here is with the Guardian, but as I said, do look at the slope on the green. But it's a fairly decent chance, this one. Par 3, hole number 5. Hole number 6 now. As you can see with how zoomed out this overview picture is on the video, this is a lengthy hole. It's a par 5, and let's just talk about the routes here. Usually I'm going to play black line, which is the right hand route, bouncing on that little area of fairway where the red cross is, if you can just make that out. Bounce over there with top spin. Bit of left spin as well, aim right down the centre of that fairway. You don't want to go too long and risk going into the rough. If you go into the rough off your drive, chances are you're not going to get anywhere near the green with the second shot. So you need to be accurate on your drive here. 10% extra on the drive. Black line route to the green. You're probably going to need a wood club with distance. Big dog, cataclysm, something with 180 yards is preferable. Obviously, if you've got high level Guardian, then that's also going to be pretty decent as well. Going to need a lot of right curl though here, 0% on the second shot, and it is a fair old way to the green. So make sure you find some fairway with your drive here. White line is another option as well. You'd have to bounce on the first piece of fairway, use a decent amount of left curl to get onto that middle fairway pad. Then you've still got a fairly lengthy wood club shot to the green. Obviously going to need right curl rather than left curl. But the elevations, as a rule, generally stay the same. 10% on the drive, 0% second shot. On to hole number 7 now, final par 3. a variety of ways you can play this. Obviously it's pretty straightforward, you're just going to be aiming at the pin, it's a straight shot, but you can bounce in a variety of different ways with a variety of different spins as well. Some people play no spin shot here, one-on-one. Some people would prefer to aim further up and go with backspin, so bouncing on that middle pad. But what we also do in level crosswinds here, we have played a rough bump, which is on that strip of rough immediately before the green, with the quarterback from middle tee. And also in rookie, I believe that the rough bump is also an option from the front tee. Again, with the rest of the Grunberg Slopes greens, apart from that previous par 3, this one is a nice flat green. So get the pace and the line right and you're going to have a really good chance of dropping this. But as is always with the case with wind changes, you need to have your adjustments ready and be prepared if you need to offset your ball guide left or right in crosswinds. That may well help you get a very good line for a hole-in-one on hole number 7. On to hole number 8 now, which is the final par 4. And this is the steam train hole. You'll see a train bombing across there on that that little aqueduct there that crosses the second fairway, you can see. This one drive 15%. Usually I would play over to the left hand section, bouncing where the red cross is. Top spin and left spin needed there, plus 15 on the drive. From there it's a massively downhill second shot, so you're going to want to play it about 30%. Usually with long iron from there. Grizzly is good for the ball guide if you have it, but you do need to compensate for the wind push, because obviously once the ball bounces first time, you've got still a very downhill second bounce effect to deal with. The white line is on there, as if we do get straight tailwind, particularly in expert and obviously above, then we're going to want to probably strap on a power 5 ball and go full blast here. Top spin, make your adjustment, push back up and go full pelt, landing where the blue cross is or in that area, and bouncing straight down there and getting a roll down to the green, hopefully for an easy wedge. But you know, if we can make around the green area, then that's good. Nice chance at eagle, but don't forget the elevation. 15% on the drive and then 30% as a general guide for the second shot to the green. And finally on to hole number 9, finishing as usual with a par 5, and again pretty lengthy one here. I usually will play this to the left in pretty much all scenarios. I do find that it's a slightly better route. You could try right side if you want, but for me I'll be going left. 10% on the drive, bouncing before the bunker. You want a good amount of topspin here. Thor's Hammer 6 is an excellent choice if you don't have APOC, but just go with whatever drive you have that does have a good amount of topspin. Play it 10%. Obviously if you do get headwind here, you're going to need to overpower. Get yourself down there as much as possible without risking going in the rough, of course. From rookie tee, you're wanting a drive about 370 yards. Pro and expert around the 400 yard mark is good, and I would favour the left hand side of that piece of fairway rather than the right. If you get too far to the right, you will potentially have trees in play for your second shot if you have to adjust in winds that go from right to left. You'll be pulling in the view of the trees. 5% on the second shot as a rule. It will be played with the sniper here, so very, very decent chance at albatross. Not going to be easy, but definitely not as difficult as hole number 6 here to get to the green in 2. If you are going for albatross with sniper, don't forget, make some offsets on the ball guide to compensate for the wind push. In tailwind, obviously you want to leave it a little bit short, and obviously the opposite for headwind. And you may want to build something into your adjustment here, plus 5% as a rule. But if you want to go ball guide to pin, you're going to then obviously have to add more to your adjustment to compensate for the second bounce wind effect. Thank you very much for watching this playthrough for the Shredder Slopes tournament. Please do check out the rest of the content on the channel homepage over at bkgolfclash.com. Plenty of other content there to choose from, including the Academy tutorial playlist, including new tutorials on Embringer School, overpower rings as well, and a tutorial on how to dunk with the short iron. So plenty of stuff to have a look at. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.